And we are back with a look at the Atlanta sports scene on this edition of Public Affairs on Peach. Chris Domino, 680 The Fan, is here as we dissect some of our favorite teams. Chris, as always, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Good.
We've talked about the Falcons. You know, they had their work cut out for them even before drawing the NFL's toughest schedule.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. Everybody says nobody really cares about your problems. And the minute you start to talk about your schedule being tough, that's a bigger tune-out factor than anything else. You play the one that's laid out in front of you, but no doubt about it, on paper, this one, because the division is ticked up with quarterback play now from a couple of young guys in Newton, and it looks like Jameis Winston, who's made the dietary commitment we hear as well. Now you start looking at who else you have to play and maybe how your bye lies up or doesn't. Now the Atlanta Falcons, they got 16 that they're going to earn their keep this year, no doubt about it.
And we've talked about the pass rush. Did they do something? They tried to do something to address it. Did they get enough of it in there, you think?
Well, I think the big one is Vic Beasley. Now, Vic Beasley's going to go to the outside. Does that mean go to the outside and find an angle to a quarterback without a big guy on you? That seems to be what they want. They brought in bodies. Let's find out if the bodies get that number of 19 sacks up higher. The other part is down and distance. You know, one of the reasons you say, hey, if a sack is it's X amount of yards lost. What it really is the down and distance totally changes. And when you actually know what people are going to do because their playbook closes, that's the ultimate goal of hitting a quarterback behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, Vic Beasley, we want to talk about him. He's the first-round pick. You see him right there, number 44. He is a guy that played out of a three-point stance and played defensive end. This year, as you said, they're going to stand him up, back him off, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, they're hoping to keep bigger bodies off of him.
Right, that's it, exactly. Let the lineman do the work, the linebacker make the tackle.
Yeah,
that's
look,
the idea, right?
In the middle, it's supposed to be what your defensive line do. They get paid to keep people off the feet of the linebacker. When a guy's on the outside who has speed, what he's really supposed to do is be able to see an angle. You cover this guy up, and then I'm going to find the angle, and I'm going to get there quickly. That's the other part of this thing he does have to learn. It's one thing to be fast. It's another thing to knock a guy down once you hit him. But really what he's got to do is recognize how quickly, what's my path? Where is he going to move into? That's a feel. There's something innate about that. He's going to have to learn that on the fly this year.
Now let's move on to the Braves. We knew it was going to be painful, but did we think it was going to be this painful?
No, sir.
No,
sir. Yeah, nobody really, as I said, nobody signed up for this. Nobody thought we were going to have to buy into this. We all know that this was, well, at first they didn't want to say it, but now they do. This was a teardown. You were going to go back to square one. How many losses that meant, nobody really was sure. And unless they turn it around, it's going to be more than we thought it was going to be. But I think with the Braves, more than any other team and in baseball, it's not a draft situation. We don't know these guys. Never seen them play in college. Don't have any emotional attachment to the school they went to, or we don't know anything about their ability. What it is it's a matter of time and years to put pieces in place where if it's one guy, two guys, three guys all at once, they've learned how to play baseball. Now they're going to learn to play it at the major league level, and sometimes those things take a couple of years.
Now we've heard we're going to see some younger guys coming up, like a Dansby Swanson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cobb County, Vanderbilt. Are we going to see him?
Yeah. And
he's the number one overall pick.
My bet is before July 1st. There are rules and there are reasons financially, arbitration, Super Twos. Nobody really cares about the numbers. They just want to see a guy they think can play, playing for the major league team. Put him on the 25-man roster. My bet is before July 1st. I'm going to tell you that June 15th is sort of a magic number in the control him for one extra year of salary. I think you wait another 2 weeks after that to make sure that that number's in play. July 1st, I think you see Dansby Swanson.
Now, you know, we also want to talk about Brian Snitker, a good guy, a guy who's been with that organization forever. You know, Freddie Gonzalez, I like Freddie too. I mean, both of them good guys, but I think it says more about the players when they improve when the manager goes away. Don't you think? I mean, it's like, hey, we better play better.
Yeah, and I think the other part of that is it's easier to fire one, not 25, and now you realize, too, oh, the front office is watching. They're not happy with the record, which means when you have a minor league system that everybody tells you is starting to be infused with talent, my job's on the line. Hey, brother, I really don't much care, and if you don't have a back of a baseball card and you're not at the right price, you could be gone, too. Sometimes you say gone is traded. Sometimes gone is sent back down to the minor leagues. Nobody wants to be gone, sent back down to the minor leagues. That's a step in the wrong direction in their world.
Yeah, in anybody's world.
Financially, hotels, everything. Buses as opposed to planes.
Well, you know, and playing in the minor leagues as opposed to the major leagues, right? All right.
Yeah.
Well, the Hawks were swept by the Cavaliers again this year. 2 questions. Who do you think they need to draft, and do you re-sign Al?
I'm not re-signing Al Horford for max money. I just can't do it. Now, look, I can have a pile of money and say, well, nobody wants my money, and that could be a part of it. Al Horford's a good player. Al Horford's not a star. You don't win in the NBA without stars. If you can't take that money over the next year, not right now, but in the next year, and parlay it into better than Al Horford, then you didn't do your job as a general manager, as an organization. I just can't give him max, because now I'm looking at him at 35 years old, upwards of $30 million, and I don't think that's good for my business. I've been with him. He's ridden with me. We've ridden with him, and you've gotten this far. Unless you get him 2 players better than him, Al Horford's not going to lead you to a title.
One final question quickly. Kirby Smart era begins at Georgia in the fall. What do you expect when we're going to see Jacob Eason at quarterback?
I don't know if he starts the first game. I think he plays against North Carolina. I think within 3 games, Jacob Eason is your starter if he doesn't earn that job in August. I honestly believe it's not going to take more than a couple of games. If it's not Carolina, I would say game 2 to get him ready for the SEC.
All righty, Chris Dimino joining us here. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of Public Affairs on Peach. We'd love you to join us in our conversation, or if you have a topic you'd like to see us cover, let us know. Send us an email to publicaffairs@cbs46.com. And be sure to like Public Affairs on Peach on Facebook. There we post our upcoming episodes and ask for your feedback. For Chris Dimino, I'm Fred Khalil. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you here next week.